Hey everybody, Greg Vogel here, and heading off to the gym. I've been telling myself for the last 2 years I was going to start doing these little videos as I'm heading to the gym and sharing my thoughts and all this cool stuff, and just haven't done it. I don't know why. Laziness. I guess it took me 2 years to mount the little iPhone mount into my car. I don't know. I put it on my to-do list. I didn't do it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys about vision. I let the Facebook post last night. Sorry for the bump. I'm going up. I got 2 driveways, and my one driveway a little bumpy and long. The other driveway was smoother, but we've got delivery people blocking it right now. But I'll talk about vision. I left a Facebook post last night. I had to be real and raw with everybody, and 2016 was a pretty good year. 2015 was a better year, but 2016 was a pretty good year. Had a lot of goals, did a lot of cool things. However, I realized I didn't hit anywhere near my targets that I wanted to in a lot of different areas, right? Especially financially and business and things like this. And I realized that, I've been doing about 20% of my fullest potential, and that's pretty bad. And even though I still have people contacting me and saying, hey, I need help scaling my company or all these cool things, and I realize I've only been doing about 20% of my capability, right? And that's really sad when an entire year goes by and you look at yourself and say, shit, I was capable of so much more, right? And so I posted that last night that I was going to really step up to the plate. It's not just about hitting specific levels of success and meeting goals and all these things, which is great, but it's also about leadership. Every single one of us that's watching this video obviously was given an amazing gift of life, right? God gave us a great gift of life for a couple of different things. One, to have friendship with Him. Two, to enjoy the gift. Part of being alive, the life purpose is very simple, right? To build a relationship with our Creator, who created all of us. Number 2, to enjoy the gift, just to enjoy being alive, man. Some of us have shorter years, some of us will live to be 100 or so, right? Regardless, it goes very, very quick. I caught myself when I was posting yesterday. I'm 44 years old, man, and I was posting that I got 10-month goals before my 45th birthday that I've got some massive things I'm going to complete in my life. And I look at myself at 44, I still feel like a kid, right? I crush it in the gym. I can outrun my kids, even my teens, if we're out running. They can't keep up with me. I feel amazing. Life has been good, but man, 44 years old, you come to realize that I'm not immortal. And I've got kids that are adults, 2 children. Well, one's about to be 18 years old, one's going on 20. And I'm looking at potentially having grandchildren down the road here. Well, soon, within a few years, I could be. I need to start making some changes to what I really want in my life and what's valuable to me. And so I came to realize over the last 12 months, man, you can set goals. Like, it's great to say I have a goal of buying a certain watch, or I want to hit a certain net worth, or I want to make X amount of dollars per year. And it also be marriage goals. I want my marriage to look like this. I want my relationship with my kids to look like these things, right? But here's the thing, and somebody actually posted on my Facebook wall that they were having, how do you keep yourself in line with having all these goals and then getting off your ass to do them? And a lot of this is going to come down to your vision, right? And the Bible talks about, without a vision, the people will perish. And I've had talks with my kids about this kind of thing, that, for instance, I've got one of my teens, people coming to her and saying, hey, you got to be thinking about what you're going to do for your future and what kind of career. And I think it's just a bunch of hogwash. Because the reality is, I've changed, quote unquote, careers or businesses for me so many times throughout my entrepreneurial life. I've been building an internet company since 1997. And I've been in satellite phones, GPS, paintball guns at one time in like year 2000. And all the way to software technology, to mergers and acquisitions, which I still do a lot of that stuff as well. But so setting a goal and having a vision for what you want to do now is a big difference between having a massive vision for your life. And one of my goals is to, in the next 3 years, take my net worth from where it is to 100 million. And you know what? It's a totally doable plan. It's not a pie in the sky plan that I can't do. It's actually very achievable, and I've already got the plan of attack, and I'm working it. And it's mostly building the value of some of the companies I've already owned up to specific sales levels. And once those hit certain sales levels, I got certain multiple that the company would be valued at, and it's very easy to do that. Some of the investments, building the equity asset value of those investments as well. But I caught myself, one of my goals was to crank my net worth up to $100 million. And I caught myself, even with that, for about 2 days, I was lividly motivated, right? And then I caught myself just not being motivated anymore. I think I caught myself in a point in my life where I've hit a certain level of success. I've got the cars, I got the big house, I've got 9 kids, an amazing wife, I got all this stuff, and I feel like I should sit back and just relax and enjoy life and do all these things. And it's very easy to get set into that point. That's why I've lost some of my hunger. And a part of losing that hunger, I think, comes down to losing the vision. You can have this painted vision laid out. I can read my vision and get excited for a day, and then I lose it. So I'm going to talk about that today, how to keep it. And I also want to dig down into, over the next 10 minutes while I'm driving to the gym, so it's not going to be long, on how to create a compelling vision. And this is where it's all going to start, folks. If you guys are going to be world changers, you're going to make changes and impact on your family, on the people around you, on the world, in your businesses, and have massive businesses, you've got to have a vision that's going to take you to that level. And just saying, I want to have a $100 million net worth in 36 months isn't going to do shit for you. Let's just be honest with you. What's that mean? $100 million. What does that mean? That's where you got to dig down. So let's talk about creating a vision. And this is not just about creating a stuff vision. I'm not talking about setting goals. I want to buy, 3 Hublot watches. I want to own a Lamborghini and 2 Ferraris and a $10 million house. Those are financial goals and easy to see visually what the numbers look like. But also, who do you want to become, right? You got to envision yourself as the leader way beyond who you are now. Do you want to be a public speaker? How do you see yourself leading people? How do you see yourself acting and interacting with people? The person that I see myself being over the next, in the future, is way beyond my skill set currently of who I am. So I realize I've got to step up to the plate in a big, big way. Me being a leader and an author, and I'm writing a book right now, and all this stuff, you have to step into it, okay? So let's talk about creating a vision. Number one, what are some of the financial goals that you want to hit? And you need to set goals that are big enough to scare living snot out of you, that are going to push you to a whole new level. You're going to have to grow through a process, right? Second of all, I want you to think about who do you want to become in the process of you moving towards this vision. How do you see yourself as a leader? How do you see yourself the way you communicate, the power that you have when you speak to people? And start visualizing yourself in your marriage, with your relationship with your kids. And I want you to write all these things down as your vision, right? And really see yourself, who do you want to be, do, and have in all of the areas of your life. So let's talk about the numbers goals, though. And it comes down to, you hear the saying that you've got to have a big enough why. And that is a big piece of the vision. So let's take the net worth part. You want to have, let's say, $100 million net worth. Just writing down for me, $100 million net worth only motivates me once I read that every day for about 1 day. So I can read that 5-6 times during the day to keep myself constantly motivated. But it's easy to lose vision because it's not compelling enough. It's what the $100 million leaves, or what I can do with that money, that's going to make the difference, right? My goal in life is to leave a legacy. I have 9 children. Amanda and I are planning to adopt a 10th. None of our kids are adopted, they're all our kids, but we do want to adopt one more to round it off to 10. I want to leave something massive behind for my kids. So I've got to I have to get to the level emotionally to where I see that I've built something for my children that, and not just financially, like giving them money, but the ability to run businesses, understanding investments or real estate and all these different things, so that they can carry the torch on and have financial success for their family. Like I have a chance, like everybody in my family, there's never been any financial wealth ever in my family. And since I was a small child, my grandmother said, Greg, you're gonna be a millionaire someday, a billionaire. And her constantly encouraging me since, I mean, I'm talking about the age of 6, because I always had these ideas, right? And so that being pounded into me constantly was a huge, had a huge effect on my life, right? And so I want to have that same effect with my children. I teach them about wealth. I've taken kids out to do business deals. Back when I was doing real estate way back, I had my son at, I think he was 5 or 6 years old at the time. He was out doing a real estate deal with me, man. I've done tons of things like that. So teaching them and training them about how to take the things that I've built and created to lay down a platform. Those are the things that gets me excited, to the point of emotional. You have to build your vision. So if you could put together an idea that one of the things that on your vision list or your goals is to have $100 million net worth. Let's say that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna keep using that one because that's a big one for me. In the next 36 months, just take my net worth at that point. You've got to attach something at an emotional level. And here's a perfect example. I've got 2 of my mentors, right? One of them I know very personally, Tom Mirza, a $500 million man, is taking me under his wing and showed me a lot of different things. And one of the things I see this guy drive, I can't keep up with him. He's 10 years younger than me. I can't keep up with him. Holy smoke, man. And one of the things he told me was when he was 10 years old, he wrote down this list of things he wanted to do. 1, he wanted to become a billionaire. 2, he wanted to live in the tallest building in the world. And 3, all these, he has this list. Right? The only thing he hasn't hit off that list is to become a billionaire. And he's more than halfway there, right? At 34 years old at this time of this video. So ultimately, he has this childlike passion that he can't let go of, that he wants it so freaking bad that motivates him, right? 2, I'll come back to comment in a minute. I want to talk about something else. Another person, Gary Vaynerchuk, which I haven't had a chance to meet in person yet, but I will. Definitely want to end up doing business with that guy. But since he was a kid, he had a dream of buying the New York Jets, right? So one of his driving factors, he could sit there and say, I want to have $500 million net worth or whatever. But that's just a number. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give you an emotional drive. But to own the New York Jets for him is a massive, massive motivating drive. So I want to encourage you as you gotta, it starts with a vision, guys. Until you can see yourself being, doing, having the things you want in life, being the person you want to be, the leadership, seeing your life the way you want it laid out. And I don't care what that is. For everybody, that's different, okay? And then attaching emotional drivers to that are going to affect you in a major way. You've got to get emotional about it, right? For me, the $100 million net worth is, I never want my kids to my kids are born for leadership, and I want my kids to have the financial platform. I'm not going to hand my kids tons of money. Trust me, I've got some kids that financially I would never handle very much money to, because they blow all of it. I'll just be honest with you. Well, I'm working on them. But when time gets to that point and they've matured enough to that point, look at Donald Trump and his family. His kids are taking over his business, right? I want my kids to be at that point where they can take over companies, take over real estate assets that we control, and things like that, right? Part of that is educating them and leading them and mentoring them, but also giving them the financial platform. Once they have the ability to carry that torch on, is to give them something that they can carry that torch on. I want my kids to have a better life than I ever did growing up. And they do. But I want their kids to have a better life than they did many, many times over, because their parents were given a financial platform to go out and build wealth, right? So for me, that's a huge motivator. I also have the desire to give to specific charities that are making serious impact in the world, right? So those things, I have to tie the emotional desire of why $100 million net worth in 36 months is a must. Also, another motivating factor of me, and this is kind of weird, being an entrepreneur for as long as I have been, since I was a kid, before 10 years old. I've always been an entrepreneur. Actually, I was an entrepreneur before I was born, just letting you know. I was doing, no, I was kidding. But one of the big motivators is like 2 years ago, my wife and I sat down finally and watched Shark Tank. I mean, holy smoke, man. I think it was many seasons in. We never watched Shark Tank. And so watching Shark Tank, I told Amanda, my gosh, this is what I want to do. I've always wanted to be like an angel investor. I've invested in television shows and just other deals and .coms and some things like this, but I really want to do this for a living. I love doing business development. I love mergers and acquisitions. I like help people buy and sell companies. I like creating companies and selling them and all these cool things. But what I want the most is to find talented people that are out coming up with really cool, world-changing ideas that I could say, you know what, I've got some funding I can put behind you guys. And I've got some skills, connections, talents that I could bring to you guys that I think would be a great asset. And I love that because I'm the kind of person, I don't like doing the same project for real long. I like to get involved, fund some projects, help some people grow their company, and then count that investment of time and capital and knowledge and skills into that business as an asset that could be grown into something huge. I love that. That's deal making, man. So that is my main motivator. What I'm trying to get to over the next 36 months is shifting away from launching companies, taking one of my new companies, Vogel Media, that's going to be launched, some of these other companies, scaling those massive and focusing my time on being an angel investor and venture capitalist. So that's a huge motivator for me to have that life where, you know, I might jump on a flight, head out to Silicon Valley, meet with some people, and because I've been looking over their pitch deck and some great ideas. Anyway, I'm getting off track here, but I've already passed the gym twice, so I'm just driving around. So you've got to find something to attach that goal that creates a massive emotion. So second of all, I would say that you have to read your vision and connect with your vision daily, multiple times a day. When you get up in the morning, and I'll talk about habits and routines on another video, because I think it's a very important video I can get into about creating successful habits that really will make massive impact, and then breaking some super unsuccessful habits. I've got several that I need to knock out. But in the process, create a vision that's going to give you drive, that's going to create emotional connection with the vision, right? So I've kind of lost track here when I went off on everything, but you know, let's talk about, you know, having a big enough why, and so part of that big enough why we just talked about. You've got to have a big enough why. Sometimes that why has to shift to who, right? Now I've got a why of having, you know, this coming up year I'm planning on buying a Lamborghini Huracan. I've already got a Corvette Z06. That it's a pretty awesome car, but I want an Huracan. I've always liked that car. And so for that goal, there's a why. I've always wanted a Lamborghini, right? And so for me, there's a why. But the $100 million net worth part, the why is not big enough to just say I want to have $100 million, right? So part of that has to be attached to who, right? And it's a lot easier to put the emotional aspect into a goal or a vision when you have a who, because I need to do this for my family. I need to do this for my wife. I need to do this for my kids, my grandkids, for the people around me, for a charity. So when you attach that, man, I have a financial, not just a financial, but an all-around duty and responsibility to be massively successful in life, because these people, this group of people needs me, my family needs me, my kids need me to step up into this place, right? So I'm going to kind of get to where I'm ending it with that. I'm losing track because I'm driving around trying to pay attention to traffic, and I had a lot more to say on this video, but I kind of lost my focus here a little bit here. But anyway, folks, with that, I'm gonna head out here in a second. But just, guys, start with a vision. I mean, if you do not have a written vision plan, I'm not talking about goals, I'm talking about a full vision. It starts with your goals are all planned out. Then you write that into a vision, like an entire paragraph, like seeing your life through this picture. Like if you could create a photograph of this vision, this picture of what your life looks at. It includes some of the financial goals, it includes the way your marriage looks, your net worth, all these things that you want to be involved in. Writing a book, you know, being a best-selling author, being a philanthropist, whatever that is, you've got to paint a picture and then add emotional attachment to that. Second of all, oh yeah, this is what I was coming back to. Connect with that vision daily. Like, get up in the morning, close your eyes, and we'll talk more about the habits on another video, but you've got to read that vision, close your eyes, see it, feel the gut emotional feeling of being there, man. You've got to do that. Get up, and then get up and start your routine. I think a lot of success is built on habits and routines that you can create into your life that you're doing consistently over and over and over again. Just like investing, just like working out at the gym, your eating habits. Success is built on a lot of those habits and routines. So part of those routines needs to be that you're connecting with your vision constantly. And also working on writing down your goals constantly throughout the day. I catch myself, so what keeps me going when I'm really crushing it the most, I recreate my vision, I get up and do my thing, get the kids off of school, cook breakfast for everybody, I do my thing, right? And then I get in and start working, man. But now I'm working, feeling that vision, man. I feel like a freaking rock star. But there's times through the day, maybe you get a phone call, or maybe one of your developed programmers calls you and says, oh, we're having problems, we're gonna be another 2 weeks, and things that can take you off track, right? Or you just get distracted. We'll talk about that in another video, jeez. But the goal is, when you're starting to feel like that, stop, read that vision, take a few minutes to work on your mindset, to start reconnecting with that vision again, so you feel the emotional juice and drive. Write down your goals, get sticky notes and write down $100 million, my marriage is this, my relationship with my kids like this, I just bought a 2017 Lamborghini Huracan, whatever it is. Get your juice, get yourself excited, take those times through the day as you're working to close your mind, take a walk, focus on getting yourself back there. Sometimes for me, running is awesome, man. I can run. As I'm running, man, I'm thinking about, dude, you know, just I'm seeing myself, you know, I'm self-talking to myself, I'm walking through my vision, and then I come back into my home office and I'm so juiced and powered up that maybe it's another hour, maybe it's 3-4 hours, maybe it's the rest of the day, I can just go. But anytime I feel myself losing that momentum, you've got to go back and reconnect with your vision, reconnect to the emotional level, and keep doing it over and over again. You've got to basically slam your vision and your goals and your dreams in your head constantly. Be like a child. You know, think about when you're a kid and you wake up and, oh, you got some crazy idea, you're gonna have a $10 million house with 10 swimming pools for all your friends. As we grow up, we start looking at what's going on in life, and yeah, maybe I'll get a pool, because why? We're starting to lose our dreams. We're losing our vision. You've got to get childlike again and start dreaming on a massive level. Create a compelling and powerful vision of who you want to be, do, and have. Connect with it emotionally and connect with it often throughout the day. You know, Con Mirza, come back to him. Man, he says he writes his goals down like, I can't remember, like freaking, what, 20, 30 times a day? It's constant, man. He has to stop and get his dreams. He gets himself juiced, gets himself pumped, and he gets back in the game and kicks ass. You've got to keep yourself on the track. Listen, the world needs your stuff. I don't care if you're worth $1 billion watching this video or if you're working at McDonald's. You have something to say. You have something to offer to the world. And it's all going to be started with a compelling vision. Listen, you can't be inconsistent in your life, right? You can't, what am I trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm jacked up on coffee right now. You can't have in your life, and you're not going to achieve anything in your life that is completely inconsistent with the way that you vision yourself. If you envision yourself as being this leader, and you're traveling the world, speaking to people and touching people's lives and making massive impact, but you don't actually see yourself being there, it's just a lot of talk, you're not going to achieve it. So part of that is you've got to drop all the bullshit. Create a massive vision for your life, connect with it often, and see yourself being that person. Constantly. You've got to drive it into yourself at a level that becomes so emotional that you can almost feel tears and just building up. Does that make sense? And keep yourself motivated. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk posted a video today off his jet that was freaking awesome. He's talking about people watching these videos, and a year from now they're still watching my videos to get motivated. You got to stop going to other people to get motivated. You've got to be your own motivation. I think it's great that you guys are watching this video and connecting with other people. I have people that I watch that inspire me, I think is important. But when you have a compelling vision for your life, you become your own motivation. You can jump up because of your own actions and your own, what I call ass-kickingness that you're doing in your life. You are becoming your own motivator. So anyway, folks, I'm at the gym. I got to go work out. I got to go out and hit this. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, hey, comment. Please post a comment in here, guys and gals. Share it with people you think that could use this. And I'm going to be posting a lot more of these videos, but go out there, create a compelling vision, connect with it emotionally, connect with it throughout the day, keep yourself juiced, and think about what you're capable of today. Just one day. Go out there and give it everything you've got. Make it a game, of reaching what am I truly capable of today. And just one day, give everything you've got to reach your fullest potential. I'm out of here. Love you guys. Let's rock and roll.